Hi guys, I am Neil and today we are going to have a look into history of Tier 5 tank destroyers. None of them are related to each other, so today it will be a bit different than the last time when half of the tier was basically Renault FT and its iterations. Some of them came out of army needs and kind of desperation, and some of just dreams and proposals. So let's start as usual with the oldest one and finish with the newest one. So which one is the oldest one in the pack? Well, it's the biggest steel clubber and it's stock 3G. Its development started way before others, kind of. In 1935, Germany realized they missed something capable to attacking 45 positions while they are still being mobile. Artillery were able to attack such places, but they were way too stationary. And that's the point when stock 3G development started. Actually, it was stock 3. The idea was quite simple: put a bigger gun on brand new Panzer III. Sure, they got rid of the turret in order to do that, but what the heck, they did it. First prototypes were finished in 1937, and after a few years of production and further development, we reached stock 3G. It was produced from 1942 till 1945, and there were around 8,400 of them. Quite a lot, isn't it? So let's move on into 1941, and we have here 3 TDs, of which development started in this year. Starting with the second German TD, Panzer Selbstfahrlafette 4C. It was designed to be anti-aircraft gun with 8.8 cm cannon. The development took way too much time, and 3 prototypes were created in 1944, and in the same year the project was stopped. The second TD in 1941 is American M10 Wolverine. Its development started in November 1941, quite late, while USA was finalizing 2 TD projects at the time. The army wasn't satisfied enough and started another one that resulted in final version of T-35E1 tank. This T-35E1 was basically a hybrid of M4, 3-inch gun and M6. 2 prototypes were produced and further development started. The final form of this development resulted in M10 Wolverine in 1942, and as such it became US Army tank destroyer standard for upcoming years. There were almost 5,000 Wolverines produced, and they were also used quite time even after the end of Second World War. In Second World War it was used by British, French and Red Army through the Lend-Lease agreement, and after Second World War it was used by Egypt and Israel. Last tank was put out of the service in Israel in 1966. The third TD, of which development started in 1941, is actually another American TD, and that's M18 Hellcat. Yeah, you hear it right, Tier 6 TD, but why it is in our list? Well, the second American TD is just M18's development stage. First iteration started in 1941, named T-49, and the second started in 1942, called T-67, and it was replaced in 1943 by T-70. So as of now we had 2 real-life tanks and 2 designs. The next tank is kind of Irish but British, but as we know it, it's a Angry Connor. Irish, British, well, it's basically British Archer, in reality designed as a self-propelled gun. British Army wanted to find a way how to put its 17-pounder gun on something mobile. The first attempt to use the gun in such a way was a modified Churchill tank in 1942. Later on the Valentine was chosen one, and as it was already obsolete but still in production. Development finished in 1943 and it was produced till end of Second World War. After the war, Archers were used by a British and Egyptian army, and last tank was put out of service in somewhere in 1950s. Nice feature of this gun is pointing to the back and not to the front. That means Archer reverses faster than goes forward. But why Irish? In World of Tanks Blitz it is an Angry Connor, and that was really a tank named like that. Ireland didn't want to attend Second World War, They wanted to stay neutral as much as possible, and they were helping UK and USA not really for wanting to be part of the Allied forces, but because they were afraid UK would conquer them for the sole reason of having safer land where British forces can operate from, especially during London bombing. Kind of makes sense, as Ireland have long track record of being conquered. Coming back to Angry Connor, there was a group of few brave Irishmen who wanted to help allies a bit more. They wanted to fight. They were given the Archer tank, and as I remember the rumor says, they really had that barrel of whiskey with them. So now you actually know the reason why it is all green with leprechauns on the sides. Moving further, we'll meet Red Army's Su-85. The development started in 1943 as T-34s and KV-1s started to meet Tigers and Panthers, which they were not able to penetrate. In the time they were fitted with 76mm cannon, and no one yet succeeded with refitting them with something more strong. The conclusion was to refit Su-122 self-propelled gun with 85mm cannon. It made Su-122 more mobile, but still capable in destroying Tigers and Panthers. After about 2000 Su-85s were produced, the tank was replaced by Su-100 in 1944. Moving on to British 82. This was actually only proposal. No development occurred for 82 at all. But why? Well, in 1943, British Army wanted something to be able to fight heavily fortified areas. As an answer, they were proposed by Nuffield organization with 18 separate tank designs, and as you might have guessed, they were ranging from 81 through 82, 86, 87, 88, 8015 up to 80. Always being the higher number a bit more protected than the lower one. British Army actually picked 8016, which we know as Tortoise. The last in the pack is French Somois S-35. But the French Somois S-35's development started in 1934, so why this at the end? Well, that was actually a heavy tank, not a TD, and as such it does have its own history as heavy tank. The S-35CA is only proposal to refit already obsolete S-35 with 17-pounder gun already mentioned in Archer without having a turret. And that happened in 1945 and never made it to any testing whatsoever. So guys, that's it for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you do so, please subscribe to my channel and give it a like. This video is also means we are going to continue with this format, and if you have preferred tier and class, put it down in comments and I might pick them earlier than I would do just by myself. So thank you very much for watching again, and I wish you a pleasant weekend, and I'll see you on Sunday's stream.